Hello, gang. Hey, look at the echo sign. Isn't that cool? I just wanted to show you real quick how I am getting closer and closer to being set up for the winter. All right, so this is my back shop. This right here will be wood for my shop stove. All right, these are just a bunch of chunk pieces that I got from the sawmill. There's poplar, spruce, all kinds of stuff. This right here is mostly all cookies, almost 100% cookies. All right, so if you see me making cookies and you go, what do you do with all those cookies? Yes, I burned them. I got my snowblower, which I don't know if you guys have even seen yet. Bah, bah, bah. Isn't that badass? Yes, it is. I'll answer for you. That's a rhetorical question. I got a few boards here that I'm saving, but you'll see what's up with that here shortly. But they won't stay there. There's still room for the tractor to pull right in here, and I will be parking my tractor in here with the bucket facing out so that when I get the snows, I can easily raise this roll-up door. I don't have to deal with the slide bits that's on the front of the barn, and I'll just raise it up and immediately put the bucket down and start plowing. Boom, right? The Vic is put up, and I gotta say, as soon as spring comes, I'm gonna be selling it. And that is because, it's completely arguable that this is the nicest bike you can get as far as two-up riding. This is a big, full-tilt, luxury cruiser, okay? Now you maybe nitpick and say a Goldwing's better, a BMW's better. Maybe you're a weirdo and think that a Harley is better, one of the new Indians is better, blah, blah, blah. But you would be splitting hairs. It's a super nice bike, and I've got it really super well set up for me and the old lady. However, I'm getting older, and I'm scared of this thing hurting me. And what I mean by that isn't that I'm afraid that I'm going to get into a wreck. It's afraid that I come up to a stop sign at an awkward angle, and I have to put my foot down, and it's so big and heavy that I blow a knee out, or something along those lines. It's with the two of us on there, it's like 1,500 pounds. And I'm getting older, and I'm thinking of things that I never thought of whenever I was younger. And one of those things is I just know that I'm going to blow a knee out just trying to hold that thing up whenever it gets unsteady and stuff. So as soon as spring comes, I'm going to be looking to sell it, because every single time that me and Irene go out and ride it, we enjoy it. We have a lovely time. But I think we'd be better off in a convertible to have our nice little weekend trips that we do. They're short. I've never been the kind of rider that wants to go on an 8-hour ride. I don't want to do that, And so typically we take off on it. We ride for about an hour and a half to a little predetermined cafe or restaurant and have a lunch, and then ride back. And that's it. And I'm like, might be better served by just a convertible. But anyways, I've definitely got it stored away now for the winter. We took our last little ride of the season this past weekend, I think it was. And good to go. And I think that I'll be looking to sell it. It'll be a hard sell because victories are a hard sell. People are ignorant. They don't understand that parts are still out there, and they don't really break, So anyways, but whatever. That's the story with the Vic. It's kind of heartbreaking, but it's also good at the same time, because the reason I told you how nice it was is because, like I said, you'd be splitting hairs to think about getting a nicer motorcycle, and so I'm still not happy with the nicest motorcycle. So that tells me it's not like I have anywhere to go. It's not like I go, man, I'd be happy if I just had a brand new Indian. I'd have the same issues. I'd be afraid of blowing my knee out. And yeah, because that slow speed with me and her on it, which you're just the other day, yeah, this weekend, I think it was this Saturday. Beautiful ride, but I got into a parking spot, and then whenever we went and we had some wings and we came back out and we were both on it, and I couldn't back it up. She had to get off before I could back it up. So it's like, that sucks. But hopefully I'll be able to sell it or trade it for a nice little convertible. We'll see. Anyways, on with the video. The little Portland is still my #1 go-to setup. I finally got a nice fire pit, which means these two, hopefully tomorrow I'll load those up onto the truck and take those to the dump. Get those burn barrels out of here. But if you are a viewer of the channel, you might remember how much of a nasty mess all this was up underneath here. Now we got it all nice and cleaned out, and we got 10 totes of firewood tucked up underneath there. We could put more. I could even finagle it to where I got not every bay, but almost every bay. I could have 1, 2, so 4 in a bay, but it's too tight because of these uprights. But considering what it was before, now it's nice, and I can actually store firewood there. Before it was just full of all kinds of crap. So let's go back in here. Up underneath there was a whole bunch of lumber. And now I'm going to show you this lumber, and that's what the lumber on the floor right there, that's going to get mentioned. There was a bunch of lumber on the floor. Well, that has been moved in here. And now if you guys saw it firsthand, and you just saw it and you looked at it, man, that's some nice lumber, Bodie. You know, I think this is cherry. I think it is. That definitely cherry. But anyways, there's some cherry in there, maybe some spruce or something. And you go, you can do some stuff with that. No, you can't. It's terrible. You know, look at this. You know, it's got that curve in it. And you look at it from this end, it's like that. To make this a good usable piece of lumber, you would have to remove so much damn material from it, and it's just not worth it. So all of this stuff will get slowly but surely, as I need it, cut off with a chainsaw right here where it sits and thrown into the wood stove, and now we'll burn it. Some of it's already cut up right here, you know. All of this, my #1 firewood source will be this stuff and this stuff until it's all gone. All of that's going to get burnt. Once all of this stuff is cleaned out, then I will remove all of that racking, burn it as well. Once all that is gone, then I will start on this. Now this right here is just a great big closet. Now a lot of this wood is still usable, but it's got nails in it for days. I mean, there's just nails everywhere because, you know, they hung shit on it. But it still might be good enough to where I can save some of it and make, I got some ideas for in there in the actual shop of making a bench out of it. This right here, same thing. Nearly everything that's on this shelf is just trash. It's just trash. And so dump runs to get rid of all of this trash, then burn up all of that wood. And then all of this will be nice and open. And so I got the mower tucked away back there. We're done with the mowing, even though my neighbor probably wishes I mowed one last time. But yeah, once it's all cleaned out, this will be another great big, really nice, usable space. But until then, it's kind of a hodgepodge of effed up stuff. Rounding out the video then, we got to talk about the next project. There right now, currently on eBay, there's a guy that's selling, I think there's 4 Poland Pro 375s. 3 of them have chain brakes. I'm really tempted to buy one of those things. I'm really tempted to buy one of those things. But I'm like, why? Because I mean, even if whenever I poured it and all that stuff, they're still slow. So, you know, what's the purpose? Why? And if I got one that I want to play with, I've got one right there. The gray one, that's a 3700. So I think that's it. I think it is. No. That one. That gray one. That's a 3400. All right, so I can mess with that. I'm trying to cut down. I've sold a handful of saws. You'll see I've got some blank spaces up there, you know. And some of those is from saws that aren't put up yet. But I have been dwindling down some of the saws that I'm like, I'm never going to do anything with that. Like I sold my Husqvarna 565. Great saw. Never going to use it. It's not fast enough to do anything with, to race or anything like that. And I just, no need for it. So, but I'm wanting to start a new project. And I'm having so much fun doing the FCO. I'm still not finished with the FCO 165. I think I'm going to cut some finger ports in that. Try and get it a little bit faster. But the reason I enjoyed that FCO so much is because I'm doing things that are challenging me, and I'm enjoying that. And so I got to thinking about it. Like I told Nate at Sawfest. There's a couple different Nates, so I can't remember his last name. But I told him I think maybe I'm just like almost not going to port for anybody at all anymore unless they want kind of like what I did with the FCO. Put a different carb on it and everything, make an intake for it, do something really different, and then, you know, $800, you know. That might be too steep for you guys. Probably is. So, you know, don't come to me. You know, but anyways, I really having fun trying to do all that I can, not just basic stuff anymore. But for the new project, what do you guys want to see? I guess I got a couple different options. Let me show you. Number 1 is the Poland 655. Bam. So that is a non-boost port Poland 655 or Pioneer. I think the Pioneer is a 65. I think is what it is. But it's 100 cc's, and I would like to build it for the vintage class at Sawfest. And so, yeah, I have a boost port cylinder for it, and new rings and everything, and piston, all that stuff. And I want to throw a big honking carb on there, big, you know, and, you know, just not do anything to kill the value of it. I was thinking about tearing it all down and painting it purple and green, and calling it Devastator from the Transformers. but I'm like, well, then I think that might kill the value of it, because most people don't want that. So, but anyways, thinking about that, going into it full tilt and seeing what I can do. There's also the Shindaiwa 680. I've got some parts for it. It's in great shape. It runs good, but it's all stock and it's slow. It's a turd. But it's a closed port setup, and it should be able to get it to run really nice. But that's another option of what to do next. I've got a new top cover for it, and I've got a new pull start for it. I got all kinds of stuff to dress it up and make it a really nice saw. So that's an option. What else? I probably a lot of you guys are like, well, finish the Stroker 55. And I get it. I'm on it, but I work slow. The other things, that Johnson Red right there, that is a 2171. That's the one that I thought was stolen because it didn't have a tag. I have replaced the tag on it, and I have a 65cc cylinder for it. And my plans with it was to make it a 65cc racer for Sawfest. Now, I don't know that I'm going to do that, because at some point I will get the 400.1 back from Jeff Seacombe, and I imagine that's probably going to make a pretty nice racer. So, you know, if it can hit 8 horsepower or close to it, I'll probably just go with that. This Poland that I originally showed you, that's not the 3400. That is, or it's a Craftsman, but it's a 50cc Poland high top. So what would that be? A 3000, right? Poland 3000. I have a piston and cylinder kit over there in those boxes for a steel MS 260. I was thinking about putting that cylinder on that Poland, and just not making a racer, just better than what it can be with the factory cylinder setup. And then I guess there's another option, last but not least, things that I'm interested in doing at the moment, and that is the Red Max 621. So this thing's all stock. The carburetor was leaking around the Welch plug, and I fixed that. Just put some JB Weld around that Welch plug, and boop, it ran great from then on out. But again, you can't really make a racer out of this. It's an open port setup, and I would just be doing it for the fun of doing it. So what would you like to see me do next? You know, the big Poland 655. I'm sure everybody's going to be like, oh, you do the big Poland 655, because you know, not many people doing that kind of stuff, and they're pretty popular. A lot of people really like those. But yeah, that's where I'm at. It's time right now to go ahead and start breaking apart my lathe, figure out why, you know, what parts I need to fix it. So the problem is, there you go, that little gear back there, the shaft got bent. Probably the only thing that I need is a shaft, but it did mess up some of the teeth. Let me pause this. All right, well, there it is. There's the spot. It did mess up some of the teeth right there. So I might have to get, I don't know what you would even call that rail. Get a new one of those, replace it. But probably the only thing it needs is new shaft and gear, and then that. But it's time for me to go ahead and break into that and repair my lathe. because I like my lathe. It's a really nice lathe, and I need to not break it again. Need to not break it again. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I got to run to the post office and mail some stuff out. I got boxes already loaded up into the car, and I got to run to the post office and mail some stuff. Got some chain that I'm sending to Jody. I got a Shindaeva 757, a completely stock one that I had gotten while I was in Georgia. Smitty said he wanted that, so I got to mail that off to him. And then Cody won the 372 Holtz Forma that I built for a giveaway. But yeah, life is good. I'm looking forward to the winter. I know that that's not enough firewood to heat me throughout the winter. But remember, last year we got by and had no firewood. So our heat is natural gas, and we just do the firewood as a backup source as well as fun. We enjoy it. We enjoy building a fire and sitting by the cozy fire. So in future years, I will have more firewood stored away. But this year, that's what we got. And I do have 4 more totes that are still up there in that big field. And I'm considering going ahead and bringing them down and putting them into the barn here where those boards are and stuff. That way they're readily accessible for us if we need them. But I don't think we're going to. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, there you go. Just little life updates. I finally got me some of these. Whoa. This is for whenever I do the chains. The other Nate Blakesley, I do know his last name. He gave me that pointer. He's like, man, it's just so much nicer. Get those so you can see the chain. And I've already tried it out and had a look, and I'm like, yeah, I can see. But I'm holding back on sharpening another chain because of my CBN wheel should be coming in from Eric Weekland, and today should be coming in today. So I'm looking forward to getting into that, playing around. But yeah, what project do you want me to break into first? And let me know. And maybe I'll listen to you. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be like, yeah, I want to do that old Poland. I don't know. Later.